And for more on how the results of the election could impact Canada's economy, we're joined by Allan Small, Senior Investment Advisor at Allan Small Financial Group. Thanks for joining us as always, Al. So let's get your take on this. How do you think, let's start with Harris, and how would a Kamala Harris government impact trade and business between our two countries?
Well, it's, I guess obviously it's hard to say. We don't know for sure. Obviously, Kamala Harris speaking a lot differently than former President Trump. Former President Trump looking at putting tariffs on everything coming into the United States from pretty much everywhere, whereas Kamala Harris is obviously, her and Biden did not remove the Trump tariffs when they came into power, but yet they're not talking about putting on any new tariffs per se. They're more looking at taxes and raising taxes, perhaps raising taxes, corporate taxes, personal income taxes, taxing unrealized capital gains. So I guess her thinking is that to generate revenue for the government, obviously the U.S. is in a lot of debt, they're spending a lot of money. They're going to look at taxing, perhaps taxing a certain segment of the population, taxing the wealthy. And this, of course, would be looked upon negatively by the stock market. Investors, those businesses doing business here in Canada, doing business with the United States, doing business down in the U.S., this would affect them significantly, I would imagine, if the vice president were to become the new president and be in the White House, and if she were to be able to increase taxes significantly, as I guess she is proposing, this would have a negative impact on business, and I think, at least initially, on the stock market and the economy in general.
Well, let's shift over and let's talk about, you were talking about how a Trump administration would slap tariffs. Obviously, you expect, obviously, Canada to respond with very similar targeted measures like that. But I'm curious, what's your take on how overall this would impact Canadians? And also, given the fact that the USMCA is going to expire, I believe, in 2026, they're going to have to renegotiate that. What's your take on all of that?
Yeah, exactly. A renegotiation of the USMCA, obviously tariffs, not a good thing. He doesn't talk about raising taxes. Obviously, he actually, former President Trump talks about reducing taxes, cutting taxes for everyone in the United States. But at the same time, he's going to raise the tariff bar. He's going to tariff pretty much most things coming into the country. He wants to, as he puts it, made in America. He wants to make America great again, as his hat shows there. And he thinks by putting tariffs on goods coming into the U.S., it will force, or it will give a pretty large incentive for businesses to remain in the U.S., to build in the U.S., and to make it in the U.S. again. And of course, that will affect us here in Canada. As you mentioned, renegotiation of the USMCA would be, I guess, front and center with Canadians, with our Canadian government. So on one hand, we have someone who wants to raise taxes. On the other hand, we have someone who's looking to raise tariffs, probably equivalent. But to me, I think the biggest impact will come for all of us watching, investors, if there is no decision. We talk about if former President Trump wins, or Vice President Kamala Harris wins. But what happens if there is no declared winner by tonight, and if there's no declared winner in the next few days? A lot of people believe that it is so close to call. There could be protests. There could be many different things which delay the outcome of the election. And that uncertainty alone, to me, is probably the biggest fear that I have with respect to the stock market, investors, business in general. Because if we don't have a declared winner, that would mean everything is on hold. Everything is on pause. Business is on pause. Business is on hold. Economy is on hold. Stock market on hold. And that uncertainty is something that none of us want. So for me, I think it's more of let's have a winner, whoever it is, and let's see what their policies are. Ideally, if we have a split, meaning no majority, the Democrats win the House or the Senate, and the Republicans win the House or the Senate, so there's a divide in Congress. To me, I think that works best for investors, for the economy. It would make things difficult to pass, yes, but at the same time, giving a majority, you possibly could be getting some of these increase in taxes or tariffs. So overall, I think a split Congress and a quick decision. If we have a decision by the time we wake up tomorrow morning, I think that would be best for everyone, for the economy, for the stock market, for everyone.
We'll see. Allan Small, we appreciate your perspective as always. Thank you.